everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So continuing to work on the flowers and the wall on the far right side, getting closer to that right hand edge. Yeah, as I've said, I estimate that I'm gonna finish the first pass by the end of the summer. Might even be by the end of this month, but I don't want to get too ambitious with it, so we will see. So just gonna decide where I'm gonna start here. Yeah, pretty much as far left as I can get, and then work my way outwards as I usually do. Yeah, having a bit of a gloomy day today. We had a heat wave and then it broke. We nearly had a hailstorm, but it didn't actually hail. It was threatening to, but we just had huge drops of rain, so I was glad it did not hail because, yeah, that can cause damage. But yeah, I think it was that sudden change from really hot to much cooler. Yeah, that clash gave us a storm. We're having quite a bit of wind today too, so yeah. The only thing predictable about our weather is that it's unpredictable. So yeah, kiddo is eagerly hoping that places he dropped off his resumes and applications, somebody will call him for a job, so that's good. He actually wanted to go in and follow up, but I had to tell him, oh, if they say not to come in person, don't do that, because yeah, they'll get ticked off. I remember my dad bugged me to do that once. The ad said no phone calls, and my dad said, well, no, call them, it shows initiative. Pushed me and pushed me, and I said, I really don't think I should, because it says not to call them. Bugged me, and yeah, I said as soon as I called, I could tell the lady who answered the phone was not happy, and that my resume was probably going directly in the garbage as soon as she hung up, so I never did that again, because yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that worked in my dad's generation, but not now. And it was exactly what I figured. What I was trying to tell him is that, yeah, it's not showing takes initiative, it's showing doesn't follow directions. Yeah, a lot of places don't even want you to drop off a physical resume. They want you to go to their website and apply there. So. Yeah, said it's frustrating though, because you know, they want your resume, but then they want you to also input everything that's on your resume into their form. Yeah, so yeah, it can sure be frustrating. Well, of course, because they want an algorithm to sort through applications a lot these days, right? So it has to go into the form or it won't work. But yeah, I told him, don't be too disappointed. Getting your very first job is tough. And a lot of places don't want to hire a high school student. They want someone who's got more availability. So yeah, or maybe they don't want to hire just for summer work. So yeah, if that doesn't work out, he might pick up some seasonal work around Christmas, I told him, because that was how I did my very first job. Was I'm trying to think. I think it was a couple of months, like November, December. Yeah. But yeah, I was at Zeller's, which was basically Canada's version of Walmart. Yeah, but they don't exist anymore. Yeah, they went under. I'm trying to think now. Early 2000s? Yeah. They reopened a few places inside. There's a few Hudson's Bay Company stores left, and they opened up some small little Zellers like inside the bay, but yeah, the actual chain itself had gone defunct for a while. And who knows how much longer that'll last. Yeah, the big department stores are all disappearing. Eaton's closed down, I think in the 90s. That was a big one for Canada. Been around for over 100 years, yeah. And, well, the Bay has been around forever, but yeah, they have been closing stores left, right, center. Sears went out of business. Said, yeah, that was sure the end of an era. It's not quite the same to not get the Sears wish book at Christmas anymore. Even if we knew it when we were kids, we weren't going to get any of the stuff that we marked. It was so much fun to go through the catalog and imagine. Oh, there we go. I grabbed 779 instead of 799. 779 is brown. This was blue, so that was definitely incorrect. Okay. But yeah, my very first job at the Zellers was, we were called the tidy maintenance personnel. So we were there tidying up store displays. Yeah, that kind of thing. Because, you know, people would go through things and make it a mess. And then, yeah, we would have to come along and make everything neat and front-facing, they called it. So if product got shoved back on the shelf, you had to bring it to the front so it was more visible. Yeah. Yeah, so it's funny too, like at Christmas time when I take my stuff out, almost all my stuff is from Zellers. I have what you might call it, my fake Christmas tree came from there. My big glass platter that I put cookies on came from there. Yeah, just like a bunch of my decorations came from there. So I get kind of nostalgic every year when I bring it out. Yeah, there was quite a few chains. Woolworths went too, I think. I don't think we have Kmart anymore. I don't know if the US does, but I know we don't. Okay. Yeah, I remember we had one too called House of Brussels Chocolates that was in Vancouver, and they were like Canada's version of Purdy's chocolate. Yeah, but they're gone now too. But yeah, their stuff was almost as good as the Purdy's chocolate and cheaper, so. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I passed 11% yesterday on this. And yeah, like I said, my goal is 15% by the end of the month. That's about 15,000 stitches a month, a bit over. So yeah, 15,000 seems to be sort of my monthly average, so we'll see. Of course, it depends on the amount of confetti and all that, as usual. Yeah, I messed up yesterday and I had a line in my work and I'm going, why is there a line? I've never had a line, and then realized it was because it was a big block of color and I grabbed the wrong color. Oh. Yeah, it was supposed to be 648 and I grabbed 647 instead, which is slightly darker. So yeah, I had to rip out like 100 stitches. So that was irritating. But At least I noticed it before. Yeah. It got too far away from it and harder to fix. At least it was only, you know, less than 100 stitches, not 10,000 like I did when I first started this project, and I used the 01 instead of just white. Yeah. After that, I went through on Pattern Keeper and edited my my legends so that anything that said 1, I changed it to actually say white so that I will not mix it up next time. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the thing that really irritated me is I knew people were having that issue and I still messed it up. Ugh. It's like when you warn somebody, you know, don't trip over that thing, and then you trip over it yourself, right? Oh dear. Sorry about that interruption, everybody. I made a mistake there. I forgot to turn my phone into do not disturb mode, so it interrupted the recording. So, but we're back now. I have a checklist for before I start, and I usually remember to do that, but this time I forgot. So, yeah, like I often say, this is a very professional operation. Oh dear. Okay, so I think what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to sort of stick to the stuff that's in that row there and grow it outward. Yeah, I've been kind of experimenting with a slightly different, instead of working in more vertical diagonals, I'm working more in rows, but still diagonal-ish. So yeah, I've been finding I don't have to have as many live needles that way, and I don't have to unthread as often. So yeah, we'll see whether I stick with this or not. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that came up funny. There we go, that's better. So it might go a little bit below this line. I don't really follow the lines that closely. Yeah. No, I think actually, for now, I'm going to cut it off there, so. So in order to keep from closing stuff in, yeah, I'm going to do these 3 here. Gonna jump over and do that one there. And then park that there. So I don't know, maybe I am doing the same amount of unthreading since I'm unthreading stuff that goes below that line, but I don't know. It seems like less because I'm not doing it all at once, so yeah, who knows. Do, do. Yeah, that's not going to be able to do another 4 stitches. 1 is all I'm going to get, so I'm going to just tie this off here. So yeah, my automatic captions came up my last video, so yeah, I don't know whether I did anything differently or it was just one of those random glitches that it doesn't work, but yeah, I felt bad for one content creator that I watch. She's a ASMR artist, Calliope Whispers, and yeah, she really relied on automatic captions because she said she has issues with her thumbs and typing. Yeah, she can't do extended periods of typing, so she could go in and fix the mistakes on the automatic captions, but to actually do them from scratch was just not feasible because of, yeah, health problems. So yeah, at least for me, it's just annoying. I can type for long periods and it's not an issue, so. Yeah, and there was a lot of people saying, well, does anyone actually use captions on, you know, ASMR videos? But she said, well, I do, and yeah, you know, I like when people try to make accessibility standard. It certainly doesn't hurt anyone to have the option of having captions on, I would say. So, but yeah, it will definitely inconvenience some people who actually need them. Okay. Yeah, lots of different colors here. Okay, I'm gonna check the length of the one parked up here. That's a medium one. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is a color that gets used a ton, so. Yeah, so getting into some bigger blocks coming up here. We'll see if we get into any this session or not. Oh my. Oh, I think I may have messed something up, and I think I know exactly what it just was. Oh, my gosh, I tell you. Yeah, I know exactly what I did. The gray one I just did should have been down here, and I did it up here. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I should have noticed that it was right up against my grid line there, and therefore incorrect. Okay, that's all right. That is fixable. So yeah, as I've said, pin stitches are very secure. As you can see, ripping them out is not easy. They are not going anywhere. There. Because I could pull it if I pulled hard enough, but then I'd be afraid I'd distort the holes in the fabric. So yeah, just get that too. Come up. Yeah, I know this is one that I loop started right there, so it's okay to cut it. There we go. Gotcha. Okay, let's try that again. Correctly this time. Yeah, that's where it should be. I one time did that, ripped the stitch out and then put it right back in the same place afterwards. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, pulled a little too hard, unthreaded my needle. That's annoying. Okay. All right, now we are back on track. 9, 3, 1. As I said, you can probably hear the wind blowing my vent cover around and making the house creak. Yeah, there's one neighbor across the street that a tree has been blown by the wind so hard that it's at an angle now. Makes me kind of nervous sometimes. Yeah, I'm worried it's gonna fall on his house. Yeah, that was the same storm that broke my apple tree in half. That tree used to be straight and it no longer is. Yeah, that was something I had to get used to. We replaced our windows a few years ago because this house had only single pane windows, which is really bad for, insulation, especially when it gets as cold as it does here in winter, -40 or even below that. Sometimes we'd have ice like an inch thick on the inside of the window on the worst days. And so we replaced them with triple pane. We were going to go double pane, but then to get triple pane was like an extra 10%. So yeah, it was sort of at that point, might as well. And what I didn't count on the fact is that the material that the windowsills are made on, they pop a lot. The old ones didn't really, but now it's like the heat kicks on and pop, 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 and wakes me up. Or the wind, I should say, blows and pop, pop, pop. Yeah, so took some getting used to. Because our old windowsills were made of wood, and these ones are made out of, I think it's plastic or vinyl or something, and yeah. So they respond to the temperature changes or the wind moving a lot more. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a good sleeper. Anything and everything wakes me up. Ugh. Oops. Needle got caught in the grid line there. I don't think this one is long enough to reach down here. We'll see. Actually, nope, just long enough, so we will park it there. Good. Then I don't have to do another one later. That's always nice. Okay, check the length of this one here. Okay, that is a good size. All right, I wasn't sure if it was going to be just enough for the stitch it was parked in or not, but no, it's a long one. So fill that in. And carry this up. Yeah, it was funny. My husband was surprised I got our kiddo to watch a movie with me the other day. And he said, how? I said, well, I pretended I didn't care if he watched it. So I had it on, and he came out curious and sat down and watched it with me. But if I'd asked him to watch it with me, you know, he would have said no. So, and I have people say, well, that's being a teenager. I'm like, yeah, but he's always been like that, even when he was really little. So, yeah. I think that's just his nature. Well, I told my husband, I said, I think he gets that partly from you, because I'll be like, hey, I think you'll enjoy, you know, this show. And he says, no, I'm not interested. I say, okay, fine. I'll watch it myself. And then almost inevitably halfway through, oh, this is actually kind of interesting. Would you mind starting it over with me again? Like, oh. Like, well, I tried to tell you you'd be interested. Although he's getting better about that, so I always tell him I'm not going to recommend stuff that I don't actually think you'll like. Yeah. almost parked that. One row too high. Okay, 327. I might just skip that for now because, yeah, I don't really have to sew. I don't always follow the line, but I think that kind of helps to naturally sort of feather that edge so I don't have to worry about, yeah. So I'm going to do another thread here, just a short one. I do have one part further up, but I'm trying to avoid closing stuff in as per my usual. That means I'm going to do these two and park it below. So I could technically do it with one strand if I wanted to jump around a lot and leave gaps, but I don't, so I'm going to do it a little differently. Use two strands. Ooh, that doesn't look right. Yeah, I think I didn't come up correctly. Top leg looked a little bit too long. I'm going to go the other way, I think. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Sometimes when that hole is full of other threads, it can be harder to get it to come up in the correct spot, so there we are. Okay, 5, 5, 2. Okay, just making sure I'm in the right place. Yeah, there's a lot of purple here, so be careful that I'm not in the wrong big square of 100 because I've done that before. Yeah, I think I have like 10 different shades of purple out in my working tray right now. There's a lot here. Was able to untape my vent cover because the bird who was trying to live in it is stopped coming back. So, oh my gosh, yeah, that was funny. It wasn't happy with me, but can't let you live in there. That's not going to work. I think you'd be in for quite a shock too if I did let you live in there and then I went to cook and turn the range fan on. Yeah, you'd be in for quite a rude awakening. So, oh man, when I was a kid, I remember we lived in one place, and a family of birds managed to get into our attic. It was right around the decorative sort of molding. There was a tiny little gap, and they managed to squeeze through there. And so, yeah, there was a nest with babies and everything. But yeah, I remember it would be sort of early in the morning. I'd hear this scratching sound, and I was like, what is that? You know, half asleep. And it turned out, it's like, yeah, the bird trying to squeeze its way through that tiny, tiny little gap. It could just barely make it. I guess that's probably why it liked to nest in there, because it knew predators wouldn't be able to follow it, right? If it's squeezed into this tiny little opening. So, yeah. But yeah, my parents were actually kind of nice about it. They let it stay there until the babies grew up and left, and then we cleaned it out and sealed it up so they couldn't come back after they'd all gone. Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, the ones who were trying to settle right above our bedroom window, they've stayed away since I sprayed the bird repellent. So, and there was sort of a little bit of a gap where the roof shingle had pulled away from the roof, and that's where they were trying to hide in there. So yeah, my husband went and made sure it was all nailed down so there wasn't a gap there anymore, so it wasn't attractive for them to go in there. So yeah, and like I said, you know, we have 3 trees in our backyard, and they're perfectly welcome to nest in any of those. Not right above our bedroom window, thank you. Okay, this is a long one. All right. Yeah, sometimes I end up with sort of more thread than I need, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Then this one, yeah, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna juggle both of them for a while, so I'm gonna leave that top row of 4 there for this other strand, and I'm gonna park the next one down with this one. Yeah, I often say this way I stitch is almost feels like doing a puzzle, which I enjoy. Oops. Well, that won't work. Yeah, I got these 2 wrapped around each other. Let's try that again. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to use this one here because I think this strand is really only good for a few stitches. So yeah, I'm going to use it up. actually going to carry this one over here. Yeah. Oh, I just realized I should probably thread that along the back first. Yeah, because all the stitches in between here are done. And I don't want a super long carry across the back, so yeah, since I can get a few more stitches out of it, I'm not going to cut it yet. Might as well do the last 3 sort of that are, yeah, in that area. Then I didn't waste any thread that was usable. Okay, so yeah, my horizontal cutoff line is kind of moving up by another stitch, which tends to happen as I grow outwards towards the right, but that's fine. Just gonna tidy this up here. There. So then carry on from this corner here, work my way out, and then I'll go back over to the left and work my way out again. So yeah, it's kind of really the same thing as working my way downwards. I'm just kind of doing it in the opposite direction. Yeah, you can tell this is confetti heavy because I still haven't hit 100 stitches yet. It has been slow going with all these color changes. Ooh. Ooh. Pardon me. But yeah, like I said, I find this way I have fewer live needles, so I'm unthreading them by accident a lot less often, so. Yeah, I find when I have a lot of needles on threads, it doesn't tangle so much, but trying to pull one out with the needle still attached can be tougher, so. Okay. So yeah, here's some bigger blocks coming up. I'm going to be splitting these apart, I think. I'm going to have several threads. I suppose actually I could do the stitch below it too, because then when I do those U-turn symbols, I can do them all at once. that so that when I do these, yeah, I can sort of do all of them at once and tie off that thread without having to pause with it. Finally passed 100. Yeah, that took a while. Yeah, I usually use pin stitches more, but in this area there's quite a lot of dark purples, and then it's going into a lighter area here, so yeah, I don't want to risk any show through. Okay, so now we get to do a bunch at once. Now we're getting into bigger areas of color, so yeah, able to pick up the pace a little bit. Oh, whoops. Almost was putting that in the wrong spot. Yeah. Just realized there should have been a square between them, not right up next to each other. Glad I discovered that, because I'm about to tie this thread off, so if I'd messed that up, that would have been harder to fix. I would have had to rip back quite a bit or decide if I was willing to leave it there, but yeah, prefer to have it correct if I can. Yeah, I can tell I'm going to need multiple threads here for this color. Just trying to decide the most efficient way to do it. Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep this one on this side here. Okay. Oh, this is not very long. Oh dear. And I only got one strand of it. Oh, I see. Because it's extremely uneven there. That's why. leftover pieces I've got to know long enough. Need to grab a brand new strand. See if this is enough to do these stitches I've highlighted, but probably not. Piece is really short. Yeah, one is all I'm going to get. Actually, I'll get another thread. It's funny, that's a gray color I just put in here, but next to the others it looks more blue. Yeah, it's interesting how the colors around can fool your eye. I one time ripped out a bunch of stitches. I was convinced I'd done it the wrong color. And then once I pulled out the thread that I was ripping out and compared it, it turned out, no, I was actually had been stitching in the correct color. It was just because of the shading of the colors around it made it look like I'd done it wrong. Ooh. Okay. thinking, yeah, I'm going to do these ones first. Okay, good. Thought I had a snarl there, but I didn't. Oh, I spoke too soon. I have one right in the middle of my thread. Oh dear, what a mess. Ah, well, that's annoying. Okay. So actually, I'm going to carry this one up, I think. Yeah, probably have more thread here than I have stitches, but that's okay. Sometimes that's just how it works out. So did that one. I'm going to do these 4 here. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. Oh. That's what happens when I don't properly dispose of the little trimmed bits in my ends container like I should. if I do these 2 stitches, I'll be left on a round number, 180. So I'm going to do that. That there, so 180. Yeah, I think that is where I'm going to take a break for this morning. But as usual, thank you so much for joining me today, and hope to see you here again another time. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.